In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 internet safety tips for parents. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Steering clear from the internet, or better said internet-based information, is almost impossible in the 21st century unless you make a clear and conscious decision to abandon modern society and live free like Robinson Crusoe. Since the latter is not only a fictional character trapped in a castaway circumstance void of his own choice, we tend to educate ourselves about the internet's dangers, especially in terms of parental control and exposure to unwanted content. Generally speaking, we should divide certain aspects and impact of internet in modern households into cybersecurity and security, although before we even consider that, we should look at ways to stay informed about what children are drawn to on the internet, how to control or limit visits to sites that are not suitable for their age and upbringing, or whether we should simply resort. Number 1. Be informed, up-to-date, and alert. Of course, first and foremost we assume that the situation at home is stable, secure and of such quality that parents have time to discuss and relate their views and concerns on the internet. They should be more than just curious, but also cautiously approaching, as the wrong attitude can shut their kids off and thus make the most important information kept without full disclosure, and that information is about what kids like online. Gaming, general searches, and many other things that fall under the umbrella of digital footprint should, and must be, part of this discussion. We can also learn something from the general attitude of the great Steve Jobs in terms of his first general rule when it comes to his own household: no computers, laptops and mobile phones were allowed in his home, so he found a fairly easy solution to one of the most important aspects when it comes to chilled parents' cybersecurity: know how much time they spend online and how. Number 2. Know the tools, risks, rules, and approach. There's no way around, get into the game early, so you'll never be late with a reaction. It's everywhere, in schools, at home, on phones, cafes, birthdays, theater, so there's no surprise that kids learn faster than their parents. Whether the internet is used for research projects at school, communication with teachers and other children, school reports, communication with teachers and other children, and interactive games. Being surrounded with it comes at a cost. That's mostly unwanted content they've come across by being curious and clicking a YouTube video pop-up or sidebar. It also comes in harder scenarios like cyberbullying, and like any other jungle out there, online predators. Because of this, you and your children should be aware of anonymity online. Not using your real name, and only connecting via a VPN connection will ensure that no predator can identify and dox your kids and do them any harm. With Le VPN, you can appear like you're from another country, diminishing your child's chance of being attacked by malicious software or spyware. Number 3. Use online protection tools. Using online tools allows parents to have some control over children's access to inappropriate adult material and helps protect their children from internet predators. One of the basic tools is Internet Service Providers (ISPs) providing parent control options. Parents also have access to programs and/or specifically designed software that help block access to sites and restrict personal information from being sent online. Others use programming possibilities to monitor and track online activities. It is never too much to repeat and continuously point out the necessity of going back to the very basics, which entails being involved in your children's online activities. Never share basic personal information, address, phone number or school name or location, use only a screen name and never share passwords, never consent or promise to meet anyone you've met online without parent knowledge, approval and/or supervision. Never answer threatening email, message, post, or text. Always consort and fully inform a parent or any other close relative or trusted adult about any and all communication or conversation that was scary or hurtful. Few useful cyber safety tips for parental control and supervision. Investing your time together online will give incentive to your children to turn to you for any question and dilemmas, but more importantly, educate them in terms of appropriate online behavior. Positioning and location choice may not seem relevant, but common sense and logic. Number 4. Encourage critical thinking. If everything was true what we see in virtual world, we would all be flying magicians, world-renowned innovators, or even have the possibility to multiply ourselves with respect to how many profiles of ourselves we actually need and can use during the day. Offer criticism and logic, common sense and respect as a basis for your discussions with your kids, but don't forget caution and safeguards. Teach them how to recognize and block unwanted contacts that happen by phone, email, text, social networking or online games, but also alert them to the fact that they need to comprehend that what they share with the rest of the online world can be seen by others of whom they have not originally thought of or had in mind at all. Number 5. Set up your internet for safe use. We have already mentioned the use of filters and monitoring the use of internet, but what you could also consider applying is to enable Google Safe Search on all the devices your household uses. As far as what you can do within the browser itself is to enable parental controls on streaming services such as YouTube, Netflix and Apple TV, but also install software that filters content or lets you choose what times devices can be used, not used, as that would address the initially mentioned Steve Jobs attitude in terms of limited time spent in virtual world. Use the options already installed in your browser, know their email addresses and passwords to monitor activity. Many devices use cloud storage like Google Drive or Apple iCloud to store data such as documents, photos or videos, access to which can also be controlled. Number 6. Learn about social networks. Of course, it's out there, and it's huge: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and so many others with a similar function to connect with other people. Yes, it's true, having friends and connecting with others is very important to children and young people. They use it in so many ways these days, whether to maintain contact with family, promote their Instagram, use WhatsApp, Snapchat or Viber to talk to friends. Surely apps that involve messaging between individuals are numerous but pose a certain degree of danger, especially in situations where children are messaging people they don't know and trust in real life. Again, use common sense, logic, inform and educate them about the fact that messages and photos shared can be viewed and obtained by others. Teach them to use and set privacy settings to ensure that their profile is only seen by people they know, and check these settings often. Teach them how to report abuse or inappropriate content to the social networking service or other agency, especially when it comes to inappropriate content. Number 7. Understand games and apps. Games and apps are initially designed to be educational tools that build skills and a sense of achievement, as well as being lots of fun. They can be downloaded from the internet and many are free. Even young children can spend a lot of time playing them. The best apps are those where children can experiment and try out their own ideas, creating drawings or music. Some apps are less educational but are not much more than repetitive activities. Free apps often have a lot of advertising and in-app purchasing. These can be real purchases and cause bill shock for parents. It is also hard for young children to tell the difference between advertising and the game. One of the first things a parent should do is make sure there is no inappropriate content or violence. Number 8. Understand online violence. Parents should nurture the bond with their children and always lead by example, which includes not playing violent games in front of children. Children are quick to spot double standards. You may need to be firm when limiting violent games, as some children like these the most. While a connection between playing violent games and being violent is proven to be false, the graphic nature and adult themes might still create an emotional response with your child, inducing nightmares, fears, and anxiety. Young people often enjoy multiplayer online games. They can play with friends and meet new people with similar interests anywhere in the world. In those instances, parents should remind their children to be cautious about sharing personal information, monitor when they play. Some games happen in different time zones, which can mean young people are playing when they should be sleeping. Number 9. Trust, invest time, monitor, and educate. Rather than sounding like a broken record, try to sense when it's a good time to approach and talk to your children. The result will be rewarding in a form of assurance that they would not make an uninformed decision that might impact their life or your own. Cyber safety advice checklist for your children: avoid posting personal information. Once you post something, it's no longer yours and other people can see it. Keep your privacy setting tight and updated. Never share passwords with friends or strangers. Only add people to your networks that you already know. Don't meet people in person that you met online. Inform your parents or guardian about anyone that suggested a meeting. Not everyone is honest, so they may not be who they say they are. Respect other people even if you disagree with their opinions. Always be polite. Only use the internet when you are around trusted adults. Number 10. Practice what you preach. Parents often see their children the same way as when they were born, helpless bundles, which will never understand on their own. This is very far from the truth. Children understand as much, and in this case sometimes more, than adults. They will see that you are using your real name on social media, that you are playing games, and that you are not careful with your private information and IP. This will make them lose confidence in you and stop listening. If you have chosen to use a VPN provider for your child's device, use it on your own too. LaVPN offers 5 simultaneous connections on multiple devices, and it will make you safer. Having sincere discussions with your children about safety, security, and prudence is something that you can do even with a very young child, as they will appreciate you talking to them like an equal. What do you think about all this? What you do to make your children safe on internet? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications before you go. Thanks for watching.